driving. Who comes and stops us in our tracks? Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Night. Morning. Yep. Still morning. I'll wrap this up and hit a noon meeting. All right. See you guys. So, what are we at? We're at April 11th. I don't really like keeping track of the day right now. My sobriety birthday is on Friday. So, getting there. Right. Here's the thing: is you want to bring it up, but it's not here yet, right? Oh, I feel like I can tell you guys that I'm gonna have 5 years. So where's the balance in that? Because I want to be happy about it that it's coming up, but I want to be focused on that, right? Gotta have a little balance in there. Gotta have a little balance. Having a little bit of a hard time. My cat's been gone for 5 days now. And if he's gone, then he's gone. But it's the not knowing. And his friend is starting to miss him. I miss him. I haven't even cried yet. I will. Probably be today. I haven't accepted that he's gone yet. So let's go ahead and get started, because I don't feel like crying about my cat here. I'm going to tell you something. If somebody has a problem with people crying about their animals, you can fuck off. So, all right. If you're here, please say hello. Even after I told you to piss off, right? Whether it's the live or the rewatch, they move me up. Facebook does stuff. It's a popularity contest. It's stupid, but it's part of what has to be done. So, before we get going, I wanted to talk about the line, I'm just too busy. That's another line that you should take out of your verbiage. Okay? When you tell somebody, I'm sorry, I've been so busy, what you're telling them is, you're not a priority. That's what you just said. I work in a world where people depend on things from me in a certain amount of time, and and the resource has to be good and, reputable, things like that. So, therefore, we're all very busy, okay? But you are not so busy. You are not that busy. Nope. That's a matter of priorities and what your priorities are. And there's nothing wrong with that either, right? I have certain priorities, right? If work came up or kids came up, guess who's going to win? The kids. My family's going to win, man. Okay? If I have something to do for God, it's going to come first, man. Those are my priorities. And that's because my priorities before were jacked up. I didn't know how to handle priorities. I didn't really have priorities. I had a made up world that I lived in. Right? That's what I had. So, but let's get to the reflection today. A word to drop. Blame. Yes. Before we even get started on it. Or reading on it. Yeah, there is no one to blame. That's the thing. And you're going to find out as you're in the program longer and longer that even in bad situations, blaming people it doesn't do any good. It doesn't serve anything good. It doesn't serve going towards what the problem is. See, the thing is, we end up blaming people and we live in the problem when we should be living in the solution. Okay? Not only that, but I want you to see something. Okay? How many fingers do I have pointed back at me when I'm blaming someone else? I got 3 more fingers pointed back at me. So what's the real problem here? Let's find out. To see how erratic emotions victimized us often took a long time. We could perceive them quickly in others, but only slowly in ourselves. You can change that. I'm going to tell you guys, you can change that. That is up to you. Okay? How does that, and how do you do that? I talk about this a lot. It's honesty inside, is being honest with yourself. Fuck everybody else. Screw them all. Okay? Don't be honest with any of them. Be honest with yourself. Just you. Okay? I'll tell you why. Because if you're honest with yourself, you'll be honest with everybody else. Okay? They don't have to answer to God for you. You do. They don't take on your responsibilities for you. You do. So take them. Do it. Just do it before anybody says anything. Oh. Have you ever noticed I don't do things like get in particulars? I don't. You know, I might tell a story or something as an example or something going on. But even when it comes to problems, I will not get into particulars. Well, this person did that to me. I don't have time for that stuff anymore. First of all, we had to admit that we had many of these defects, even though such disclosures were painful and humiliating. Ah, yes, the seeing in others what we do not like in ourselves. So, a lot of times when you're saying this person does that and they did, is because it is something in you that you don't like. They are a reflection of what you're doing. And I'm wondering why nobody's listening today. These are hard ones, man. This isn't easy stuff. But I'm going to tell you now, I still find it easier than trying to chase the fucking bottle. I do. Why? Because I enjoy this. I didn't enjoy chasing the bottle. Where other people were concerned, we had to drop the word blame from our speech and thought. I'm going to change that. Where people were concerned, all people, all of them, including you, right? Aren't you people? Are you people, right? I'm people, right? When it says others in the big book, it's talking about you. Okay? Except when to do so would injure them or others. You are an other. Okay? Page 47. I had to carry that on so I could figure out the page. Sounds like a 4-step, yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't think you want to hear my smoker's cough. So, all right. But in AA, we slowly learned that something had to be done about our vengeful resentment, self-pity, and unwarranted pride. We had to see that every time we played the big shot, we turned people against us. Oh, yeah, man. Don't you have to be a big shot teacher, right? You had to prove it to the crowd. Go listen to the song Big Shot by Billy Joel. Okay? If you're a drunk like me, you'll get the song. You'll understand it. It's about a person that drinks that suddenly becomes somebody else that is the star of the show or warrants everybody's attention. Sounds slightly familiar? Yes, he's in recovery too. We had to see that every time we played the big shot, we turned people against us. We had to see that when we harbored grudges and planned revenge for such defeats, we were really beating ourselves with the club of anger we had intended to use on others. Well, it's probably better that way. You don't do jail time when you beat yourself up. So, I hate to. I mean, who really deserves the beating besides no one? People deserve more than that. Okay? I'm going to tell you that I truly believe that I don't believe it's hard, right? Because I don't believe in physical violence. I don't believe in it. But if somebody broke in my home, I don't know how I would react. I'd probably beat the fuck out of them. See, isn't it? See how we don't get into particulars? Isn't that a what if that may never happen? Right? So I'm not even going to entertain it anymore. We learned that if we were seriously disturbed. Oh, but my point on that was wishing bad karma on other people. That is also blame. Okay. Karma will get them. I feel like that's a selfish, revengey thing. Not everybody feels that way. If you're cool with it and your God's cool with it, awesome. But that's how I feel about it. I've heard other ways of it being said, and it's cool, man. I think that it's one of those where it's up to the individual on that one. So we learned if we were seriously disturbed, our first need was to quiet that disturbance, regardless of who or we thought it was. Here's the problem: is I'm the one that tends to think that I'm the one that needs to make sure that these things get done for me. Do you hear the problem? I am selfish and self-centered. Right? Well, I was. I'm not today. Right? Tomorrow may be different. I don't know. But today, I am not that way. To see how erratic emotions victimize us often took a long time. Okay. So, that's a good way to put this. So, we're going through our fourth step and we see how much we hurt other people. Remember, you're an other. You kick the shit out of yourself more than you hurt anybody else. And you owe yourself an amends. Did you know that? Did you know that you owe yourself an apology? And did you know that the only way that you're going to be able to do that is by staying sober and doing the work? You can't actually apologize to yourself. You can't. Okay? Hey, Dion. I'll do it for you. Hey, Dion. I'm really sorry, man. I'm becoming a better person. I'm not the person that I was, and I will treat you better. No biggie. That stuff used to make me very uncomfortable. Now I love it. And that comes from practice, man. It does. You hurt yourself a lot. Oh, we're getting close to time. We don't need to keep going on that. Let's read what we have in the rest of the daily reflection. When I did my 4-step following the Big Book guidelines, okay, that's very important. I noticed that my grudge list was filled with my prejudices and my blaming others for my not being able to succeed and live up to my potential. I also discovered I felt different because I was Black. As I continued to work the steps, I learned that I always had drunk to rid myself of those feelings. It was only when I sobered up and worked on my inventory that I could no longer blame anyone. So a lot of us feel separated. I talk to a lot of people. You guys know this, right? With my podcasting and everything, and I listen to these stories. There's always one determinable thing. I never felt like I belonged. I hear it all the time. In this case, person didn't feel like they belonged because they were Black. Maybe they went into an AA meeting, and because a lot of AA, it's full with, most of it's white. Okay, so maybe they felt uncomfortable going in there. Personally, I think that's wrong. But I don't control that stuff, right? All I can do is create what I can for other people, right? That's what I can do. That's right. There you go. That's a good way. That's a good way to put it, Chris. I think that's what I was trying to get to. Thank you, man. I don't want to hurt me or anyone else, but God has helped me when I have fallen short. I don't think I could put it a better way, man. I don't. So thank you very much, Chris. That's what I was going for. See, how would I have ever found that out if I wouldn't have gone on here and ran my mouth and done this, right? This isn't about me coming on and teaching everybody else. This is about coming on and sharing my experience, strength, and hope, hoping it helps other people and learning. I come on here to learn, right? I just got educated, okay? And it's okay for me to sit here as somebody who's a big shot, which I'm not, guys. I am not. Chrissy, good to see you. Yeah. You know, if it wasn't for God's grace, I certainly wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. Let's say alcohol was never involved. It would still be a plethora of gifts. And I think that really comes from me being open-minded and free from doing the work. Right? I'm not the person that I was 5 years ago. Not even close. Chris knows he was there. He was there when I was going in and out for 2 years. It was heartbreaking, man. Then one day a man came up to me and said, Dion, you can keep coming back. Okay? But isn't enough enough? Aren't you done? You haven't met God. Let's go meet God. Then I met God. I created my first successful relationship. And now that's how I treat every relationship. Right? And I could sit here and tell you about the gifts that God hands me all the time. See, even with my cat being gone, I'm wondering, he's a cool cat and he's fantastic at helping people with emotional problems. Okay? That's why he was my emotional kitty. Okay? He's really good at it. Maybe somebody else needed him. I don't know. I'd like to know the answer, though, but I don't want to argue with God. So I'm going to get off before I cry about my crap. Peace out, guys. I love you. Thanks for being here, Chris and Chrissy. Hey, it's Chris and Chrissy. Love you guys. Peace out and have a day. Bye.